Alright guys, so thank you for coming and watching this video first off. This is my second video in my cancer series. So basically the first video I just talked about what this was kind of about and gave a little bit of an overview of what happened with me. And now I'm going to go into more detail, and this is going to be basically pre-diagnosis. Alright. So, I'm going to go a little bit back. It's the same year I was diagnosed, but a little bit back to kind of just give an idea of stuff that had been going on that I think may have been linked to it, may have been my body showing me that something was wrong, but we just didn't know, kind of thing. Took it for something else. So I guess we'll start here. So in about March of 2008, I had a cough. Really bad cough. I was in 6th grade, just 11 years old, and this cough was so bad that, I mean, I couldn't go to school at all. It was so bad. It just popped out of nowhere. I couldn't sleep, couldn't go to school. So most of the time, I stayed up and just kind of played Halo on the couch because everyone else was trying to sleep, and me being there just kind of kept them from sleeping, you know, with all the coughing and stuff. So I did that. We finally were able to get rid of it thanks to a interesting fix of peppermint oil in water, steaming water and peppermint oil, breathing that in and expelling things from my lungs. So I got rid of the cough, and I was good. I was good until about, I'd say, September, I think. But before September, before I got anything bad again, in July 5th specifically, 3 a.m., our house caught on fire. And we were remodeling at the time, so not everyone was in their normal places. For example, my bedroom, I was sleeping in the living room instead, and my bedroom was right beside the room that caught fire. So that was kind of providential, I've got to say. But it happened at a time when people wouldn't quite get as, none of us would quite have a chance of getting hurt. That's what I'm trying to say. So we got out with nothing but the clothes on our back, and basically left, went to my aunt and uncle's house, and lived with them for like 6 months. 8 months. Well, 6 months before I was diagnosed. So about September-ish, when school had started, well, I guess that's not the best place to go to, really. After the fire and things were burnt, because we had 2 I-6s in every room in this house behind the sheetrock, due to this being an old house, all all the interior and exterior walls were saved. The sheetrock was horrible, but the wood behind it was good. Now the rafters up on the roof and everything, those were burnt out. So we had to replace those. So we shoveled sheetrock out of here, pulled it off the walls, whatnot. And while we worked on things, I started feeling worse and more tired. It got harder for me every single day. And to tell the truth, other people thought I was just being lazy. I wasn't sure what was going on. But just kind of kept going through it all. I got a break kind of when school started. School started, I pretty much just did the normal school routine. Go to school, come home, do my homework, play Halo 3 online, with some matchmaking, and, you know. Then I actually wrote. I was writing a book, so I never really got very far in it. After I was diagnosed, I really couldn't continue, and I just can't catch on the same train of thought since then. But yeah, and so about September, maybe October, I had an issue, kidney issue. Like I had pains where my kidneys were really, really bad pains. I guess I call it a kidney issue. That's the area it was in. And so we were trying to figure out what it was. We couldn't figure anything out. Went to the hospital and, well, a clinic actually. The pediatrician who I used to have had just retired, and so we went to a new one. Well, he took x-rays, blood work, everything, and didn't find anything. But he insisted it had to be a broken rib from when we played flag football at school. Not tackle, not touch, flag football. So, yeah. And we didn't really believe that, so we went with our own course of things, and I kind of drank cranberry juice all day, every day for like a month, and stuff started to get better. It's about that time that I went, not quite what I want to say, but, my great-grandmother passed away, and we went there and saw her. So, funeral, of course, all that. Family came down, saw them, and things were just kind of hard for me for the next few months. When winter weather set in, I started getting nosebleeds, really bad nosebleeds. And they just continued, and they'd last for a couple hours. I mean, this wasn't your normal just a few minute nosebleed, this was hours. And I'd just wake up with them and stuff. And, of course, it wasn't the best, because I had those, and we're living at someone else's house, and, you know, I can't sleep. And I've got to make sure I don't get blood everywhere, so I've got to stay out of my room. And the one nice thing about it was my uncle worked night shift and stuff, so, or swing shift or something of that sort. I think it was night shift, and so the days he was off, he was up watching TV instead of in his bed sleeping, so I kind of talked to him and stuff. He was a nurse at the time, and so he'd watch TV and stuff, and I'd join him and things while that kind of thing was going on. So one night, December 12th to be exact, at about 1 or 2 a.m., I had a nosebleed. got up, did the usual thing, which basically consisted of stuffing up my nose with toilet paper, laying down, and draining it down, which was never fun. Basically letting it drain down so that it doesn't come out, and hoping it would stop. So I did that, and after about 2 hours, 3 hours passed, woke up my parents and told them I was having a bad nosebleed. Well, they told me to sit down and wait for it to just stop, keep doing what I was doing, so I did. And about 2-3 more hours passed, and it still kept going. So I woke him up again. After I woke up, I had to rush into the bathroom and started heaving. That's when I got probably 120 cc's or something. I don't know exact. Blood up, just came up and up, blood and blood and blood, and yeah. So I went into the shower to clean myself off, not taking a shower, but just washing myself while the nosebleed dripped so that I wouldn't get it everywhere. And then I started seeing spots everywhere, and it was weird. I'd never had an experience like that before. So we rushed to the emergency room where my dad worked, St. Michael's, Christus St. Michael's here in Texarkana, and after a couple more hours, they were able to get the nosebleed to stop. They'd run tests and everything, blood work, and figured out I had a platelet count of like 8, I think, 6, 8, something like that. And if any of you know about your platelet count and what it should be, you know it should not be that low. So, basically, I then got stuck in a room, and we learned we had to go to Little Rock Children's Hospital. So we packed up a couple things and left. We knew it might be a couple days, so we took some stuff, went to Children's Hospital, and went to the emergency room. When I got there, I met Dr. Beckton, who also worked in the hematology/oncology clinic there, and there he was taking care of me some with the emergency room stuff, telling me what we're going to do, and all of that kind of thing. So he told me that, they couldn't figure some stuff out, so they were going to do a spinal tap to figure out what's going on. Pretty much at that point that I started figuring it was cancer. So, but it was funny because he told me I was going to get a spinal tap, and he asked me if I knew what a spinal tap was. And I said, yeah, it's when you take a really big needle and stick it in my back and it really hurts. And he was like, yeah, where'd you figure that out? And I told him it was off of House. Because I watched House a lot at that point, and yeah. And so, yeah, about the next day, I think I got my spinal tap. They put me up in a room and everything, and 8 hours later or so, the results came back, and they came in and gave us the news. Cancer, of course. It was the worst on my parents. I didn't have too much issue with it, but it was hard on my parents. I kind of suspected things, so I just didn't worry about it. Well, after so long, they figured out it was acute lymphatic leukemia, thankfully one of the most common forms of cancer. And after I got, things had sunk in a little, it was funny, if you know the story of Job, that's what I felt like right then. Because when our house was gone, that's what I thought about, and my grandmother dying and me getting sick, it felt like a Job moment. And so, yeah. Well, in all of that, I remembered someone who also had cancer. My friend Zach Ramsey, who went to church with me. And he had had one of the most rare and deadly forms of childhood cancer, and had been the first ever to survive it. And so my thoughts were, if he can get through that, I can get through this. Because mine is not nearly quite as bad. If he can get through the worst, then surely I can get through one of the most common forms. And so, later on I fought. We took treatment and whatnot. So that's kind of how I was diagnosed, guys. Thank you for watching. And please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Sharing this helps inform people, and I want to help encourage people. Alright, I made it through cancer. My friend had made it through cancer. I know multiple people who made it through cancer. If you've got a cancer, you can make it. I made it through, you can make it through. So, please, if you know someone who has it, please share this with them. Please subscribe to the channel, and please, just so that I can get more information out to you guys. And I'd like to thank you for watching. And yeah, just remember that we don't get more than we can handle. I'm a Christian, alright, so I truly believe that. We don't get more than we can handle. And I know it's not what you want to hear. I know it's not, that is not what most people think of in those circumstances, but you will get nothing more than you can handle. You can make it through this. You can fight. Stay strong. Alright? If you've got cancer, stay strong, because you can make it through this. Once again, thank you for watching, and this is Joshua Turner, Death's Crowbar, from Hardcore Christian Gamer. Christian-gaming.com. That's where I write. I've also got some of my story up there in our Christian Living section if you want to look at that. But yeah. So, thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video, I guess, which should be part, at least, of treatment, or pre-treatment, you might call it. So thanks, guys. Bye.